Hey guys, Mike Schofield. I own Schofield Fruits in Loveland, Colorado. Today I'm up in Estes Park. It's Monday, May 25th. It is Memorial Day, and the reason that I'm up here today is that our farmers market is due to kick off here in about 10 days. And our market manager has been working tirelessly with the Laramie County Health Department, trying to get guidance from the state, working hard with the town of Estes Park, who have had problems agreeing on anything to even have a farmer's market this year, even though that farm products, produce, meats, everything that you find in a farmer's market typically is considered essential. So the reason that I'm up here today is that in order to have a farmer's market, there's some very stringent restrictions that are being placed on farmers markets. Some of them have a little bit different rules, but Estes Park is being very strict with their farmers market, and we've got some rules that I don't believe conform with what goes on in other stores, the big stores, the big grocery stores here. So I'm up here today to document some of this and show everybody, and hopefully write and fight to convince the town, the health departments, and everything else that the rules aren't the same across the board. The rules for the farmers market aren't the same as what goes on in the grocery stores. So I'm going to read off a few of the rules that are being placed, and this pretty much goes for the Estes Valley Farmers Market again. That's set to kick off not this Thursday, but next Thursday, so about 10 days from now. First of all vendors will be spaced a minimum 10 feet distance from each other. Each vendor is required to wear gloves, a face mask, and have some form of hand and surface cleaning or a sanitizing tool for each person at their booth. Each booth will have an uncovered table in front of their booth to help with social distancing. So what this means is that the table that you normally see all my produce on will be empty. There will be another table in front of that to separate us from you, the customer, and that will essentially be a common table where we will reach over and place your products onto it. This will help maintain the social distancing. Here's the one that gets me. All products will be located behind each vendor, and only the vendor will be able to touch their products with proper gloves and a face mask. So to define this for you, what it says is that you're no longer going to be able to come into the farmer's market and choose freely. What you've been able to do for years and years at farmers markets, and we've been in this farmers market for this will be 24 years now. We're the only original vendor in this farmers market. But anyway, what this means is that all of our products are going to be behind us. So what you have to do is walk up to that social distancing table and tell me what you would like, point to whatever you want. If you want 6 peaches and 4 apricots and a pound of cherries, you have to point to all those, and then I have to turn around and I have to physically bag them up for you because you're not allowed to touch them anymore. After that happens, I'll put it on the common table between you and I in a bag. You can pick it up from there and then pay for it. A lot of the farmers markets are also discouraging cash payments. They want you to pay with a credit card, and in my opinion, you can pay however you want. By being forced to pay with the credit card, it increases the fees for the vendors because we have to pay merchant fees for your credit cards, in which we're happy to do, but this, in my mind, it just benefits the banks is all that it does. Next, they want the customer to make quick choices to alleviate possible lines and crowding. Lots of farmers markets this year, and Estes Park may be another one of them, that is only going to allow one customer per booth at any given time. Don't know how that's really going to work and help us get products into everybody's hands the way that we need to. No sampling of any kind. Also, staff members will be located throughout the market to keep the flow going. and to enforce social distancing. So we're going to have enforcement for social distancing within the market. Essentially, don't hang out, don't congregate, don't socialize with your friends or other neighbors, anybody else within the market. Essentially, come in, walk quickly, get your stuff, and get out. There will be a minimum of 3 hand washing stations with running water, soap, paper towels, and trash cans throughout the market. This is going to be required as well. Also, this is something that just created a very high expense, and I'm talking a couple or a few $1,000s for our market manager to have special signage made up pertaining to COVID. Signage will be placed throughout the market for the following: please wear a mask, one-way traffic, please allow the vendor to select your bag and purchases, social distancing, please maintain a minimum of 6 feet distance, do not linger, and keep moving. The reason this has cost our market managers so much is that up here in Estes Park, we're fairly prone to wind, so she can't print off the signs that have been made up and are on the health department's website, have them laminated, attach them to a stick, and put them down into a orange cone. Essentially, she has to have signs professionally made up that have some weight to them. They got to be put in little stands and everything else, and that's what's costing the market manager so much money. She typically puts a lot of money into advertising, and this year it's all got to be put into COVID signage that the town of Estes Park will approve, because they don't want it flying around and hitting anybody. So from where I'm standing in the Safeway parking lot, if you look at the street, the parking lot right over here, it'll focus, that parking lot right over there on the other side of where those cars are passing, that's the Estes Park Visitor Center, and that's where this year's farmers market is going to be held. Additionally, right down below me here in this area here is a little flower shop. I got a little tiny greenhouse in here. They sell hanging baskets, potted plants, bedding plants, a few trees, so on and so forth. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and mask up so that I'm in compliance with the health department and with the store here in Estes Park, and I'm going to show you the differences that I believe I'm going to discover in here between what we're going to be required to do at the farmers market and what is actually happening here at the Safeway store. And just to clarify, I'm not here just picking on Safeway here in Estes Park. This is really the only large grocery store in this town for the locals and tourists alike. So this is the one that we're going to be walking into, because it's really the only grocery store here. So as we're walking up to the store here, it looks like they're selling some hanging baskets, potted plants, stuff like that outside, so they're allowed to sell these items. So we walk in and immediately end up in the produce section, believe it or not. Got an employee here bagging potatoes, has a mask on but no gloves, working with all the produce. Kinds of things. You can just walk right up, and here we go. Free to choose, freedom to choose. It's exactly what I thought I was going to see in here. You can walk up, pick out any item that you want, grab it and walk out. I see there's a lady here picking out her own produce. Freedom to choose. Getting some tomatoes. Essentially, you can just go from section to section and grab whatever you want. You can go through and touch whatever you want. Not a big deal, guys. Not a big deal. Walk all the way through the bakery section here. Pick out what you like. People are shopping freely. Don't see any employees walking around keeping people moving. Oh, look at all the people congregating this aisle. Lots of people freely choosing their produce in here. All right, back outside. Take my mask off so I can breathe some of this fresh mountain air that they don't want you to breathe when you come to the farmer's market. Apparently they don't want to contaminate it, or they want to conserve it for some reason. That's why they want you to wear a mask in the farmer's market too. But we're outside. But I guess if that's what it takes, that's what we'll do. So this is exactly what I expected to find when I came up here. We've all been into the grocery stores. We know how shopping works. But I wanted to come up here for myself and walk into their store here in Estes Park and be able to document that people can go into the grocery store and choose freely. Pick out whatever they want. No tables between the produce and the customer. The employees aren't choosing the produce for the customer. The customer gets to choose it themselves. They get to bag up whatever they want, move from section to section, pick up anything they want in the store, put it back down, put whatever in the cart. They can pick up 50 things. If they want to sort through 50 avocados to find that one soft one for tonight's guacamole, they're free to do that, and they will do that. And I've seen them do it. You have too. The wrong here, guys, is that we've got lots of big restrictions on small business that large businesses don't have. The rules for me in a farmer's market located directly across the street don't conform or correlate with the rules in the grocery store. One other thing of note here in Estes Park and some other farmers markets as well, the town of Estes Park and the Laramie County Health Department have decided that they're going to pick and choose the vendors that can attend the market. So essentially, if you can't eat it, you're not allowed. We got lots of other vendors in the market. In fact, our market manager owns and operates a beautiful greenhouse in Johnstown. And because she doesn't sell something that she can't eat, her business can't participate in this market. She'd bring up trailer loads of beautiful hanging baskets, patio pots, so on and so forth, that the locals love. But for whatever reason, the town decides all of a sudden that's not essential when all these other businesses are allowed to open up. We got other vendors that make handmade soaps, other little things that people use in their homes, essential oils, so on and so forth. Not going to be allowed. They're not going to be allowed, and I don't think that's right. So what we're going to do, in addition to posting this for everybody to see, I'm going to send the link to the town board in Estes Park. I'm going to send it to the Laramie County Commissioners. I'm going to send it to the Laramie County Health Department, the State Health Department, and I'm also going to send it to Governor Polis. Whether he'll do anything or not, I don't know. We don't know what that guy's going to do from one day to the next, but so be it. That's my opinion. You guys have yours, and I'll respect your opinion. And a lot of you people are my customers, and I respect you as my customer. So I won't get political with this, except for the simple fact that the rules for me don't pertain to the big stores. And what I mean by that is that when this whole thing started and businesses were ordered to be shut down, all the mom and pop shops, grocery stores, hardware stores, places like Walmart and Target were deemed essential and they could remain open. The thing that irked me was that places like Best Buy, or let's even get smaller than that, let's get some of your smaller mom and pop electronics stores, your clothing stores along your main streets in your tourist towns, and even Kohl's, other places like that. They couldn't sell electronics and they couldn't sell clothing because they couldn't be open. But Walmart could capitalize. They could sell all the clothing they wanted. They could sell you TVs all day long. That never stopped. So the rules are much different for these bigger companies than they are with the farmers market. So this is what we're going to do. I just wanted you guys to see all this documentation, and we will pursue this, and we'll fight to have a market where you're free to choose again. It's not right that successful farmers market isn't had just because I'm there or a few of us are there. The successful farmers market is had when all the vendors can be there, because out in this fresh mountain air, there's no reason that we shouldn't all be able to come together and have a market. We can still maintain social distancing, but to pick and choose who can do what, and you can't touch anything that you're buying, I just don't think is right in any sense of it. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Thanks.